We are live. What's good, man? What's good? What's good?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, man. It has, man. We getting straight to it, man. Uh, we got some interesting stuff to talk to you guys about tonight. It's going to be a pretty good.
I told him it was going to be a good
podcast.
You don't want to miss it.
Man, every day they talking about this. Every day, it's like it never ends, man. I mean,
never-ending debate, discussion, et cetera, et cetera.
It's always crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can text the wife real quick to make sure our broadcast is coming through real quick, real clear.
Yeah, I got the notification, so I know it's live.
Okay, cool. So,
yeah, I just wasn't able to click over to see what was popping with it.
Okay, good. I'm hearing a little bit of static in my system here. Late and one's missing. Damn, you called us all the way out, man.
Late and one's missing. Maybe we finna bring them from behind the curtain. You don't even know.
Right.
You don't even know. You don't even know what's about to happen. You know, but like Kevin Hart said, you don't even know. You don't even know. We are allowed to be on Color People Time with the pandemic going on. So, yes, to that. Also, communication has been we've been trying to catch up with Logo. We haven't been able to get in touch with him. So it is two DIY brothers. We know that he is here with us in spirit, although he is not physically here. So it'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? It'll be all right. We apologize, and we know we missed a month. It's been a while since we last went live. Been a lot going on, as y'all probably already know.
The world is upside down, man. It's crazy.
Upside down, topsy-turvy, crazy. On top of the pandemic and stuff. Then you got, what I'm saying, I think a hurricane is set for landfall like South Texas. So yeah, it's just, because it's that season apparently. So it happens. You know what I'm saying? Roll with the punches. That's all we can do.
Cortez says the notification was just now sent. So cool. So, and it's a smaller channel too. So we're not going to get the kind of feedback that we would get on LS's channel or my channel. Like, this is, do you even know how many subscribers we have?
Yeah, we growing the baby into what it's supposed to be, what we want it to be.
So it is kind of awkward because I am used to Cat Loco coming in with his segment, bouncing ideas. But
y'all bear with us. We're gonna do the best that we can in the absence of our brother Logo.
And if you out there, brother,
you never know.
Yeah, he got the link. So if he pop in, he'll come in, and we'll just pick right on up. Because we did get in contact with him earlier this week. Barely. But we did get in contact a little bit. So, just keep them in your thoughts, man. Who knows what's going on? There's a lot going on with a lot of people right now. There could be a reason. We just don't know. So I'm not going to assume anything.
Yeah, with that said, man, we got to keep our brother Swaps and stuff in our prayers, man.
Absolutely.
Just pray for them, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying on my channel, sometimes, life get to throwing punches. You know what I'm saying? You get into a tussle with life, and you know what I'm saying, you just gotta roll with the punches. So, just pray for strength for Swaps and stuff. You know what I'm saying, as he deals with life. You know what I'm saying, and tussling and everything like that. So
yeah, man. So yeah, we're gonna go. Well, we got a couple things. We usually do our little roll call. I'm not sure how many are watching right now. like I said, we had some momentum going. We missed a month. We'll just chalk that up as a loss. We're gonna move right on. So if you hear, go ahead. This is actually LS's part. Go ahead and do your thing, bro.
Yeah, man. This is the part of the show where we have everybody check in. So, drop your state. You know what I'm saying? Our goal as a channel is to reach all 50. You know what I'm saying? We got Texas in this thing.
Of course, I got Ohio right here.
So we got Ohio. So, just drop down in the comments and state where you're checking in from. It helps us keep an accurate picture of the reach of the channel, as we continue to grow and bring this content to y'all.
All right. So it looks like we got Texas and Ohio so far. We got OC. He was in here, which we've already accounted for him. He's a regular on our show. So also, this is news, but, I'm going to break it to LS right now. We've been invited, all three of us, to do a podcast with one of our big-time supporters, man. New York invited us, all three of us, to do a podcast with him. On the Real New York in Your City channel. So basically, we will be discussing that over the course of this next month. We haven't, set up anything, but that is something that has been kind of, there he is. Speaking of New York, the Real New York. Yeah, we got New York in the house. So that's something we kind of been just tossing around. We haven't really set it in stone yet. We got a lot of things going on. He's got a lot of things going on. Of course, we have our own individual channels as well as he does. So coordinating one person to come on your live is another story when you're trying to coordinate three people that all have different lifestyles, live in different time zones. It's a whole different level. So
Definitely a different level.
So, but maybe we'll do like one each of us on there, and then one with. I mean, however you want to do it, man. It's we can do. He might do one of us on there each time, and then we'll do one of all three of us. I don't know how he want to do it. So,
I know
LS got to get his own.
Yeah, we just got to coordinate and find a date that'll work best for all three of us, and then that way we can all be on there at this time as the podcast. That would be my suggestion.
Right.
So, but we'll work out the details. We'll have our people get with your people, and we'll make it
happen. What's good? Swaps and stuff in the house. He just stopped through. He hit me up earlier today, and yes, we are here. It is live. We are in here. So the title pretty much has the topic in it, man. I'm in so many groups on Facebook, and it's like every day. Actually, today on Facebook, I looked at Marketplace. I'm a Marketplace guy. There's some junkyard guys, and you got your Marketplace guys. So there, you got a blend of both. I'm really a Marketplace guy. And a lot of guys are real junkyard dogs. I'm a Marketplace guy. I go to the junkyard, but I'm a Marketplace guy because I just know it's like they both will provide. They both will provide.
I mean, you can find some good deals on Marketplace. Sometimes people have stuff, really don't know what they have, or they just trying to get rid of it. Ran into a hard spot, just need the bread, and they just trying to get something off. So Marketplace, I think, is definitely a good additional outlet.
For sure. I mean, like you said, all kind of personal things. Whereas the junkyard, you don't really have any personal situations there, unless they just closing down. 9 times out of 10, my junkyards in my area are usually neck and neck with the prices on Marketplace. So unless it's a real niche item, like I'm dealing with a Regal and I got to go find a Regal in a junkyard, that's when I go to the junkyard. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm looking for LS parts, I'm gonna be on Marketplace. I mean, the junkyard got plenty of LS stuff too, but when you're looking for specifics, you gotta kind of see. You just gotta find out where they at. That's really what it come down to.
Agreed.
But that kind of goes on to our main topic, which is are these box Chevys, because we talk about box Chevys, are they really worth the coin, man? Are they? What do you think? I mean, you got a box Chevy. I've been wanting one, but I got all the off brands. So I mean, I got all the very close to, but not really. You know what I mean?
I mean, to me, honestly, at the end of the day, all these cars are metal. You know, so metal and electronics, wires, etc., etc. So it's all really material. A lot of times, the way the values are placed on things are based on popularity. The thing that a lot of people have been saying in the box Chevy community are like, "Hey, you know, I can build a $20,000 box Chevy, etc., etc." And a lot of times the rebuttal that I hear is people saying like, "Hey, it's not a Chevelle," or "Hey, it's not this," or "Hey, it's not that," which, based off of the powers that be, you know, Kelly Blue Book, Nada, Haggerty values, etc., etc. Uh, I mean, I guess to a certain extent, I mean, they don't match on those platforms, but there's the little thing that just the box Chevy has and the donks have that it's called street value. You know what I'm saying? And while uh, it may not have value to the KBBs and the Nadas and everything like that, there is value, there is street value, and people will pay for them. Now, is it worth it? I mean, me personally, I mean, I'm not spending that bread on, if I don't care if it's a box Chevy or if it's a Chevelle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm different with my car uh, fanaticism. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to get it for the low in good condition. I'm not trying to pay top dollar value, whatever. Just if it's in good condition, and then you know that's what I'm rocking with. They also say that you know the value is based off of just basically what somebody's willing to pay. So while I'm not willing to pay maybe 10, 20,000 for a box Chevy, somebody else will. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of where it lays at. Like it's no, I can't say that one, because really honestly, if you think about it, so what, other than the popularity of the cars, like between the Chevelle and Caprice, they're both. I mean, they're both metal and
Both
wires.
transportation.
Like, right. So I mean, what makes one more expensive than the other, or whatever? And I think it all just kind of goes back to popularity and what somebody is willing to pay. But
Yeah. I mean, are you finished with yours?
yeah,
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and shout some people out that just came in, then I'm gonna give my input on that. Cortez in the house, we got New York in the house, we got Silverback, we got Swaps. In case y'all missed it, we went through rep your city, rep your state. Go ahead and drop it in the comment section. We're gonna get back to the segment right now, but if you just tuned in, we always try to take attendance, not because we want to know if you checked in. We just want to see if all the states. We're trying to hit all the states. So, but New York said, "Give me an Olds or Buick. It's the same car." That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. So back in the day, before I was on YouTube, I actually did have a real box Chevy. I actually had a bubble too. I had a '96 Impala, but I had an '85 Caprice Classic bald head. You know, just a regular joint. I ended up giving it to my grandpa because I was in the Hondas at the moment, and I was getting ready to go into boot camp. I was getting ready to go to boot camp. My mic messing up. Can y'all hear me? But I was gonna go to boot camp, and basically, I wanted my grandpa to do all my body work on my Civic. So I said, "You can just have this Caprice, do all the body work, paint it. When I get back, I'm gonna take care of you. I want to be flossy." Anyways, I only paid $500 for it. Okay. Today, I was on Facebook Marketplace. Dude had old school engine, V8, 305, 350. I don't know. Basically, it was carbureted and it was old school. He wanted 15 stacks. I actually got the conversation in my inbox right now. I'm not going to put dude on blast because he actively trying to sell the car. But I got a whole bunch of cars that look just like it. And they don't even add up to a third of that cost.
Right.
And one of them is LS Swap.
And that's why I said I think it's just because if you like they were saying, like, I mean, a Buick Skylark from that same, time frame or whatever, I'm saying, as a Chevelle, and the Oldsmobile Cutlass from the same, they all look the same, pretty much. For the Chevelle, the Chevelle looks the same as those. So are those going for as much as Chevelles are?
They're getting close, man. I seen the Cutlass, but I live in the Rust Belt, so I seen a Cutlass for 4K. It was rusty. It was gonna need a lot of tender loving care or TLC, but I seen a potential. People buy box Chevys that's rotted out for 4K around here now. They're paying that for rotted out ones. I live in the Rust Belt. They paying that for rotted out ones now.
Yeah.
They paying that for rotted. Basically, they know they about to put floors in it. They know they about to pull the engine. They know people are paying 4K for rotted out cars now.
And that's to me, that's crazy. Like, granted, like my box Chevy, granted, I mean there was some rust in the floors. I mean, it wasn't in like a super duper terrible condition, but there was like some rust and holes in the roof, some in the floor. Had to replace like a floor pan, etc., etc. However, but I only paid $1,000 for my box Chevy, and it was running when I got it. I was in. It was missing front bumper, back bumper, one of the headlights. Some interior. The interior stuff was there, but the seats was all messed up, etc., etc. It isn't nothing like the box Chevy that you know and love today, and all those videos is on the channel because I recorded the progress from day one. But I only paid $1,000 for that box Chevy. So now you telling me this box Chevy that I paid $1,000 for about 4 or 5 years ago, I can turn around and I can sell it for 10, 15.
10 at today's market, at least 10. Today's market, I mean, you got the swap. I mean, these guys, I'm not saying that everybody gonna pay that, but obviously there's people out here paying that. And you got the LS swap. People are paying it. Now, you guys seen, I just bought a wagon. I bought 2 Deltas, and my Regal I bought for $1,000. I drove it home, okay? And I can't find no Regals for cheap either, bro. I can't find Monte Carlo's Cutlass. None of them G-bodies.
G-bodies is definitely in. C10s is like definitely in and up there. I've been seeing them for like crazy amount. I'm in this group, C10s of Texas, and the guy was like, I just don't have time for it anymore. I think he has like a 383 in there, shaved door handles, a fuel cell. I mean, it's a nice looking truck. I think he said he wanted like 10. It's anywhere from like 10 to 14 for it. I'm just like, once again, I paid $1,000 for my truck. I paid $1,000 for that C10 that I got as a roller, no engine, no transmission, which to some people may have seemed crazy, but for me, it made all the sense in the world because everywhere else I was looking to get a C10, you know what I'm saying, they were selling it with a 350 crate. You know what I'm saying? They didn't drop by $2 or $3 grand on the crate motor, and they selling their C10 for like 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want nobody crate. I would just wanted the roller. I wanted the platform, so I could do what I needed to do. And yeah, so once again, it's one of those flips where it's like, I only paid $1,000 for this truck. But the going rate for one of these trucks now is, people are saying, is easily 10 to 15. know what I'm saying? Same with the box Chevy. So, like I said, I mean, I do understand supply and demand, which is another thing that drives prices up. If there's not a lot of them, and they're in high demand, then you can ask more for them. But yeah, I just, I mean, I'm different with it, man. Uh, when I go to, when I take the time and the effort or whatever to go and build these cars, like that, I wouldn't want to sell it. Like a lot of those guys in those box Chevy groups, like they love box Chevy so much, love box Chevy so much. Oh, it's a movement, oh, it's a lifestyle, but yet still, what I'm saying, you willing to sell your life style, sell your, whatever for, whatever profit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can go get two, three more, where some are ducked out for, and you can get them for the low. I mean, for some people, it could just be a numbers game. For me, that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, I just always been one of those guys that, I'd rather pay a little bit less to buy a little bit of a rougher car, knowing that I'm gonna go all the way with it anyway. So if I buy it and it's got a little bit of rust here is a good car. Where you at, a car with no rust is probably a good car. All the cars here in Ohio got rust. I was very surprised at the little amount of rust, like that wagon, because it was just indoors for 20 years. But like sometimes, like you'll buy cars that you don't even like. Like I wasn't even a wagon guy, but
Yeah,
because it was so clean, I was like, man, I gotta buy this just to have a clean old school. Like I'm not even, I really don't even really I don't even have my mind wrapped around like what I'm gonna do with a wagon yet. Like my mom had a wagon that when I was a kid. I've always kind of been interested, but I wasn't really looking for a wagon, but it was on Marketplace. I found it like 10 minutes after it was posted. I was like, I got one. And that's how you got to be with the box Chevys too. Like they're out there. You got to buy a paw car though. You got to buy like a grandma car. Somebody's grandson is selling it, and you get you a nice one for a real good price.
yeah. Somebody that's not really in tune with the culture that, you know what I'm saying, is not trying to, bust somebody's head for $10,000 or just because it's original and they think it only has 50,000 miles, but in truth, the odometer done rolled over twice, and, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. Gorilla made a Silverback. I don't know why I kept saying Gorilla. Silverback Life made a good point as well. People need to worry about their own pockets, and that's another thing to where, uh, if everybody just stayed in a lane and worried about it, then, like somebody posts a car, like I'm one of them dudes. Like I mean, I see somebody post a car, box Chevy, $20,000. I laugh, I chuckle, and then I keep fucking scrolling. I don't feel the need to get off in the comments on this man post to tell him, oh, your shit ain't worth that, or, you know what I'm saying, it ain't really nothing to be said. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like here recently, like I put that speaker box for them 15s up on Marketplace. I think I put it for like $300, and people just, were chuckling and laughing. I mean, cool. Like if it ain't for you, then it ain't for you.
Right.
Was it a little bit higher? Yeah, but I do that with the anticipation that people gonna try to beat me up on the price anyway. So I mean, it was 300 the best offer, so it's whatever. But
Right.
people in those, a lot of people in those groups that are so worried about the next man pockets or whatever. Like, do you stay in your lane and, you know what I'm saying, you be good to go from there. But a lot of people do worry about, what the next man got going on. I'm just worried about the ones in my driveway. I don't care what nobody else do. I don't tell nobody what they should or shouldn't do. Same thing with like the Forges. If you want to go spend $5,000 on a pair set of rims, by all means. For me, I'm not gonna do it. So
You
it's
know what? That's
based off of what whatever you want in life, you can work hard and you can go get it. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you want, is them $5,000 rims, go get them. You know what I'm saying? If you want
right.
that $20,000 box Chevy, save up your money, go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I think when the forged wheels really bubbled, like when they exploded, like I think that's when the box Chevy and everything else exploded with it. Um, and it was all of a sudden like when I was looking for my Regal, I was actually looking for a Monte Carlo, and I was like, well, shit, I think he wanted 12 or 1,500. I had to negotiate. I was like, man, I'll give you 1,000 right now. Like soon after, like I think the prices must have come down on the forged wheels, like not just Forgiatos and Rucci, but in general, where it was still expensive, but you kind of like you balling if you have them.
Yeah.
That I feel like because there was already a box Chevy culture, like Trick Daddy, type
Yeah,
guys, and
it's definitely not anything new, like by a long shot. It's
right,
nothing new about it. The only thing here new is that, and then I mean, maybe it has something to do with the guys that have been in the game longer, and like where 25, like back in the day, man, 2,500, 3,000 would get you a clean ass OG grandma ass box. You know what I'm saying? But now these days, I don't know, inflation, people, there's more of a demand for them, whatever, and the prices are going up. Now, all the prices that you probably see people have that stuff listed for, they may or may not even be getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was to post my box Chevy after I painted or whatever and put 15,000, 20,000 on my box, would I get it?
you
Maybe
might,
I would. Maybe
you
I
might.
would.
You got to price it
But
to the market, bro. If the market is that way, I'm definitely not
right,
going to say,
and
oh no, I'm going to
that's
stay
another
down
thing.
here. I'm pricing
If
to the
the
market
if the supply and the demand is out there to where, say that it's a box Chevy that's out there, a lot of people were looking at it trying to get it, woo woo woo, and it's sold for 15. Well, there's no reason why somebody else wouldn't be like, well, if he got 15 for his, I feel like mine is cleaner. This, that, and the third. There's no reason why I can't get 16 or 17, and that's why the price. I feel that the prices continue to climb. You know what I'm
because now
saying?
you see what people are selling it for. Before, you
Right,
couldn't see the market. You couldn't see what dude down the street was selling his box for unless you drove past and you seen the sign.
right.
Now it's all over Facebook. And you're like, dang, he really did. I mean, I don't know if he got it, but he had it posted for this, and now he said it's gone. So maybe I'm gonna post mine for that, and maybe we'll end up somewhere in the middle, like you said. But if you see that's where the market is, I mean, and you put the work in, you did all this in the midst of getting your car from here, nothing is gonna be worth all the time you put in there. But if you can get
Yeah.
that kind of money from it, man,
And that's another thing that I seen people say something about. It's like, oh, bro, I got a $10,000 painter's job. No, you don't. You might have paid $10,000 to have that paint job done, but that paint wasn't $10,000. You
right,
paid for that person. You paid for the painter's labor, the prepping, the blocking, the sanding, to make sure that your shit was straight like an arrow. You know what I'm saying? All that prep time, all the materials, etc., etc. That's what you paid all that money for. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And then the person's reputation. You know what I'm saying? You probably see them spray somebody else shit. So it's like, you like, oh yeah, I want him to spray my car. You
He's
know what
that
I'm saying?
guy.
Because you're right. So now it's all of these kind of little things stacked up on top of each other. So the reason why, okay, that's why that dude is not that nice with it to where he can ask 10,000 a paint job. You know what I'm saying? So you wanted candy, you go in fucking silver, blue over silver with fucking 3 or 4 coats of fucking clear. You know what I'm saying? Or 7 or however many coats you put on there. But all of that, it takes time. But the actual materials didn't cost that much. And then I think that um, the comment that I saw was like, guys are trying to charge the labor. You know what I'm saying? The labor rates that they pay for this stuff. So if you got a $10,000 paint job, or you got a $7,000 interior. Like I'm pretty sure that the materials for your interior was not $7,000. However, that's what they charge you for their time and all of that to do your interior. You know what I'm saying? So, and that believe is rolling into these prices and what's making these box Chevys, that much more. But is it done? Is it done with Chevelles? Is it done with other older classic cars? It may just be. You know what I'm saying? I guess Barrett Jackson, the auction thing. They do, or people bring their cars on there and they didn't, frame off resto. I mean, the reason that those cars, in my opinion, that those cars go for what they go for is because there was I mean, it's that strong of a demand for them, and you got this room full of, big, deep pocket people that are willing to pay, X amount of dollars to get what they want.
And those cars already had the clout from the beginning, whereas the box Chevy, in my opinion, when it rolled off the showroom the same time the Camaro or whatever was out at that same time, people wanted the Camaro first, or the whatever sports car you're referring to, Chevelle or whatever. The Chevelle wasn't hot when the box Chevy was, but for an example, the Camaro was out and it already had the clout, just the nameplate. You know what I mean? So, um,
And now you have the Caprice, a 4-door granny grocery getter car, a family sedan. You know what I'm saying? That was made more as a comfort car than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Just a comfort cruiser. And here down the line, I mean, some guys are putting some crazy horsepower bills together. You know what I'm saying? They are making them. I mean, they are making them fast. They're doing the necessary upgrades. They're doing their thing. However, to some people, they still look at it as it's just a box Chevy. You know what I'm
but
saying?
the thing about the box Chevy, and I think this is going to happen, um, it's going to have its crash. Like for a while, the Fox body was real hot, and it's still hot. It's still a hot car, a Mustang for the guys who like Mustangs. But they hit their bubble, and then it was like, shit. Now we can make any car. When like people were swapping these LSs, they was like, shoot, anything rear wheel drive can be a Corvette now. You know what I mean? Where it was like, I got to have the lightest car, and the Fox body is the lightest, reasonable car. And now people are like, man, I can go fast in the box share and go fast in a dump. They just graduated. And eventually people are going to, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to hit its peak and it's going to come down in price. And then, it's at a bubble right now. I feel like I don't know how high the bubble is going to go, but right now, all these old schools, they hot right now. But like a couple years ago, they wasn't as hot. And then like 4 years before that, they were super hot. Back when people was lifting their cars to put the wheels on, they was hot then. Then they kind of fell off, and then people started tucking with the 26. They came back. It was like, ooh, I like that. They brought it back again.
And I remember when people were jacking the shit up out their cars,
Yeah.
and the car was just sitting like a fucking monster truck. I mean,
The
like,
M&M cars and the Cheeto cars. You know what I'm talking about? Reese
yeah,
Cup cars.
right. Everything had a name. You know what I'm saying? It was an annihilator car. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whatever. Like Skittles car. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, had teams, but a lot of the stuff was just, different brands, tricks.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
crazy. Crazy fact, though. I thought that meant candy paint when I was young. Like I was young, I was like, oh, it had the Reese cups on the side. I thought, oh, that's candy paint. Like I wasn't, bro. I was so far off. Like, and I was like, oh, they got the candy paint on there. So you got the Reese cup logo on the side. I was so way off, bro. I was so off. But yeah,
And those cars there, they just like New York was saying. I mean, the G bodies have really just recently. You know what I'm saying? Probably along with the surge of the box Chevys, has really just came back popular. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been. It hadn't been something that was always. They weren't like always there. No, that was, the Grand National was probably the most. Because I remember back with my cousin, uh, when we were probably like some years ago. This before I was really into cars. like that, man. He was talking about, yeah, man, the Grand National, woo woo, and the way that he was talking about it, like it was just this big block ass G body. You know what I'm saying? Buick Regal. No, just a little turbo V6. Now it was fast for when it originally came out. It was a very fast production car for its time. But in 2020 here, you know what I'm saying, you had a guys doing swaps with superchargers and turbos, and these are V8s. You know what I'm saying, and they got the different heads that flow very well, and you know what I'm saying, it's still a it's easier. Well, I won't say easier, but it's the Grand National original numbers matching or whatever is probably still very desirable. However, you could build some shit that will put that Grand National in the fucking dirt. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure. It still got that clout though. Like, no matter how sweet I make my Regal, it's not a Grand National though. And even though there's guys with Grand Nationals that's going LS swap, which is basically, it maybe to some people devaluing the car.
Right.
At that point, people are gonna be like, "Well, it's not really original."
Right, and that's where it comes into where is who the person the buyer is the one that's going to determine that value. Like, okay, it's a Grand National. Well, it doesn't have the original 3.8 with the turbocharger. Okay, say it has a 6.0 with a sloppy stage 2 cam in it, and maybe a turbo setup. Well, the buyer is the one that's like, okay, well, that either devalues it or it adds more value to it.
Exactly.
Because the person, well, like when you build your car, your box Chevy, your Regal, your Deuce and a Quarter, your station wagon van that you got, like whatever it is, when you building it, you're building it for you. So you have all this money into this car. Like same thing for me. Like somebody told me that was like, bro, I would have never cut a hole in that two-door land down and put no roof in it. Fuck is you doing? Well, glad it's my car, not yours. I do what I want with it. So, to some things that you do to the car, to some people it may not be as appealing. You know what I'm saying? It may devalue it to them. But these are all things that you have to kind of keep in mind if reselling is going to be something that you're going to consider. Like, I'm not considering. Never was I would like, I'm gonna buy this box Chevy, fix it up so that I can resell it. That was never my plan, my goal. You know what I'm saying? I bought it because it was something that I wanted. It was rare. Because I really kind of just tripped and stumbled across it. I was on Craigslist scrolling, had seen the car. I had told my brother-in-law about it. I was like, hey, bro, they got a box Chevy down here too, though. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then he was like, oh, bro, I got one. Woo, woo, woo. Like, all right, cool. Then I went, and I was like, that's a two-door box Chevy. I ain't never really seen one of them before. So I went ahead and grabbed it for myself. Just off of the strength that it wasn't like the regular that you see. Like now, since I've had one, and the internet and everybody coming together, whatever, like you see more. But like in my area, it may be a couple, but it's not a lot.
Yeah,
Not at all.
man, they want crazy number for two-door boxes, man, and that's the crazy part. My Delta is about as close as I'm gonna get because I'm not gonna pay the price. Like, I'm cool with having a Delta. And actually I like my Delta a lot because, it's got the nicer seats and all that. It's a Brom or whatever, Broham, whatever you want to call it. It's got all the whistles and stuff. So I was like, man, you know what? At first I was like, man, I really want the Caprice, but shoot, I'm looking at it and every day I'm falling more and more in love. I like the front end. I'm starting to really like the car. The Regal, I never had a problem with liking it. I was like, well, dang, it wasn't. I wanted the money, but I never disliked Regals. I always was like, yeah, I like them too. I actually like all the G. I don't think there's one G body I don't like, honestly. Maybe the Grand Prix is not my favorite, but there's not one I don't like. But yeah, man, I'm like, damn, this is the same car. Like I paid $400 for the one that runs, it's knocking and everything, but I don't drive it. To get a like two-door Caprice,
that's all it is. Like the pet, like the Buick Parasine, the Oldsmobile 9A or Oldsmobile something. No, it's a no Pontiac Parasine.
Delta, the Pontiac
Delta.
Parisienne.
So they're I mean they're all the same. The biggest thing is like the interiors options are different. You know what I'm saying? Different pieces are different, door panels, whatever, and like primarily the front and rear clip. Those are the biggest differences between them cars. It's no different than here
Same
recently.
car.
I don't know. Like in the probably like in the 90s or 2000s, if you had a, you know what I'm saying, the GMC Yukon or the Chevrolet Tahoe or the fucking Cadillac Escalade. They both pretty much the same damn car, just all they have different setups on them. You know what I'm saying? The Cadillac has more high end ride softening, smooth stuff. Interior's different, you know, because you're paying more for it. The GMC Yukon and the damn Tahoe, they pretty much the same as truck, different badges. Change up a couple things. GMC is kind of made to be like the mid level before the Escalade, but you know, because they had a Denali, so you know the Denali's are nicer than the Chevy Tahoes. You know what I'm saying? But they pretty much still the same damn truck. All of them run the same motor.
Yeah.
All that. So
yeah, they try to, and that's just a marketing thing for the GM, for GM. That's all it is. So they can check, so they can tax. Well, dang, how can we make more money? Like how can we make more money on the same car? Really, that's what it really boiled down to. And then we basically over here fussing and fighting and tussing over the same car. It ain't this, it ain't that. And they literally like slapping a sticker on this one. All right, no, it's like the same. Yeah. But they do have their little subtle differences, but all that stuff now we changing all that. You want a 307? Nope. You want a 350? Nope. We doing LS swaps across the board, most of us. If you ain't doing that, you're doing a 350, no matter what you putting it in. And a lot of these cars had 305s, 307s in them anyways. So everybody they making them equal anyways, and they're pulling engines. So, but as far as the Bob Chevy stuff, if you had to give a yes or no, do you think, like a quick, fast yes or no, everybody in the comments, what do y'all think? Go ahead and just spitball a number. Like, what's your dream? Like, if you was to buy a Caprice, because maybe that's not your dream car or whatever, but say you had to buy, like, you had to fix a Caprice to the level of your, like, the way you want it. What's the most you would pay? Like, if it was all the way you want it, what's the most you would pay? Like, I want to see what y'all would pay for a box Chevy the way you want it. Like, what's the cap? If it was exactly the way you want it with the turbo or whatever, maybe you don't want a turbo supercharger, maybe you want it completely original. What's the most you would pay for a car that was all the way done the way you want it, but it's a Caprice? I'm interested to see what y'all would pay for that. So y'all put that in the comments. I think Ellis went somewhere. Let's see here. I'm gonna go through some of the comments on here. See, there's a lot of them. Everybody, make sure y'all smash the like. I don't know. I can't see the likes on here, but let me go back here. So two-door Caprice in my area is unheard of. Swaps and stuff said that. Yeah, I don't see them too often around here either. People need to worry about their own pockets. Yes, it's true. You can get granny and pawpaw cars, better deal. Yeah, those are the people that's like, it's an old car, it's been in the barn for 20 years. That's how I found my wagon. And they just like, come get it, basically. They don't really know the street value. Some clown told me the other day that I'm not supposed to have big wheels because I'm white. What the F? I said, yeah, man, I see white boys with nice cars all the time, man. And you know what? I used to drive Like, you know, you don't see a lot of. I mean, now you see a lot of black dudes in imports, but like, I don't know. It's whatever. I don't think there should be. You should drive this because you black. You should drive it because you white. You drive what you like, and you pay for it. Whatever you want to buy, you know, whatever. It don't matter. Shoot, I was driving 240s with that was missile cars back in the day. Um, People always have their opinions. Silverback, just keep doing you what makes you happy. Exactly. You drive what you buy, bro. Whatever you want. Price of demand rules. I remember a box was so cheap. Had a few. And 24 price shot up. Yeah, I think the wheels, man. I think that had a lot to do with the way these cars. When people found out, okay, I don't have to put them up on suspension to make them look good. I can put big wheels on them without skyjacking. I think that was the game changer. When somebody came through squatting on some like 24s or 26s and they was like, damn, they look good. That changed the game. At least for me, because I wasn't a big fan of the lifted look. I was not a big fan of that. But I am a big fan of like squatted car. Like I like seeing them squatted. I like seeing them on drag packs. Everything except for like truck mode. For me, I mean, I've seen a couple of them that actually look straight. Paint and labor, body labor was less than 1K. I think LS went over that.
Because, I mean, it is, like, interesting to see how different people can put their own spin on the same car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On the factory, it comes one way. But when you give it to somebody, I mean, it basically becomes their canvas for, you know, for their artistic expression. You know what I mean? So,
right.
It's a way that they express themselves, and that's why I always say, like, if you want to ride 22s on your Chevy or you want to ride 30s, like, ride what you want to ride. Like, don't be like, oh, I gotta have these because that's the box Chevy rule. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I mean,
right. I gotta ride Forged or I'm not cool.
Right. I gotta ride 26s or I gotta ride Forgiatos or forged wheels.
And it's not wrong with that. Forged wheels are sweet. They're awesome. Just, you know, I'm not trying to hate on nobody. I just want to make that clear. Those are dope wheels, just not something I'm going to pay for right now. Like those are awesome wheels. Right now I can't justify it. But not to cut you off, brother. I just wanted to make that plain when people get it misconstrued.
Oh yeah. It's never. You know what I'm saying? You like what you like. I mean, and that's why. You know what I'm saying? I was pretty much saying, you know, build your car the way you want to. If you want cast wheels, forged wheels, candy paint, flat paint, enamel paint. You know what I'm saying? However you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's no set way for someone to tell you how to do your ride. I'm pretty sure when New York was doing his deuce and a quarter, he was doing it the way that he wanted to do it, not based off of what people wanted to see. You know what I'm saying? There was people who might have seen something like, oh yeah, like I think I want to do that to my car. Put a little twist on it, you know, it might have been something that he's seen on another car, like, oh, that'd be hot on mine, but I would, you know, do this different. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, and that's where new ideas come from.
Right on. Like personally, for a long time, I never gave rallies a look, but I don't hate the rally look. Like I would ride rallies for a while. Like I think they look dope. It's not the most popular opinion. Maybe it is. I don't know, but I think white letter rallies look good. Like I think that's a sweet look on a Delta. Like if I was 1 week I wanted to ride big wheels, 1 week I wanted to ride rallies, like, and I wanted to just go do dumb shit in my car, like I would definitely throw some rallies on and just go wild out in the car. If I want to hit a road trip, I might ride on the big wheels and stunt. You know, it's just wheels are like wheels just give your car more personality.
You have that option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know people have been asking me like, oh, what wheels are you gonna go with on the C10? You looking at them? That's it. Ta-da!
Like the PS4 sign.
Like your car, yeah, your car doesn't have to have aftermarket wheels just to be done. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Right.
well, he did everything except for the wheels. I mean, I put a nice tire on there that was gonna grip, etc., and like I'm good with that. And
Right.
that can be your upgrade. It doesn't necessarily have to be the wheels. It could be the tires. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. You did it the way you
because
wanted to
the
do it.
tire size, depending upon how you're building the car, the diameter of the wheel does play a part in it, right? So if your goal, is to, you may not be able to hit where you're trying to hit if you got 22, 24, 26-inch rims on it. Maybe your goal that you're trying to hit requires you to just have a 15. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah, the Trans Am I had back in the day, I threw some race stars on there, man. Like I didn't even have it was an LS1 car. I didn't have a whole bunch done to it, but I really like the look of the bigs and littles, man. And I was like, you know what? I'm throwing some Mickeys on here. I'm throwing some race stars on here. I'm gonna throw some springs on here, and I'm gonna slowly build it. And people gave me shit like, bro, it's not even fast enough. Why do you even have it? I was like, bro, because I like the way the shit looks.
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's like guys that buy V6 Camaros. They like the way they look.
exactly.
They don't necessarily go fast. They don't have the horsepower of the new one, or not the new one. Or they don't necessarily have the horsepower of the V8. You know what I'm saying? The power and displacement. But either way, I mean, you can't lie. The 2010 Camaro, when they came back out, I mean, that's a sexy ass car, regardless.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is kind of like tricking a motherfucker. Be like, I got a Camaro. It's not really a muscle car, but if you just doing it for the looks,
Right.
that's the sexy ass car, regardless. Put you some
Some
wheels
people
on
just
it.
want a convertible too. Some people just want a two-door car. They just
Right.
like two-door cars. They weren't looking for an American muscle car. They just wanted a two-door car.
Right, because insurance is higher, it drinks more gas, the gas mileage is worse, and those are things that while the average person may be like, oh, you didn't get the V8 or whatever. Well, maybe they couldn't. Maybe they were thinking outside of the box. You know what I'm saying? They were thinking that, oh, I'm thinking more fuel mileage. You know what I'm saying? Gas mileage. Or I'm thinking, what if my kid is in this car? Do I want my kid driving in the damn muscle car? No. But will they look good in it or whatever? And they can still enjoy it? No, because the kid is not like, oh, is that a V6 or a V8 Camaro? Well, I mean, I don't know.
I was like that. I was one of those. I was like, is this a V8? And I mean, I didn't mean to shit on people, but what?
You can. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, like there is a certain finesse or a feeling that comes with a V8 muscle car. The growl of it, like just everything. It just completes the whole package. But that car by itself, like it still just looks good. But with the growl of the V8, it would bring it all together. But it all
I want
comes
to
back
take
to
I want to take a quick moment, real quick, since you're talking about the C10. I want to tell everybody, man, make sure y'all go check out LS Chevy Rider's video on C10, man. Look at that interior. Man, y'all got to go check that video. I know most of y'all have seen it. It's not a big, I mean, it ain't crazy amount of people in here. So most of y'all probably seen it. But everybody's watching the replay. Go check out that video, man. It's crazy. The interior look completely different. If you ain't been watching. Cortez laid it out, right? Did Cortez do the layout?
Yeah, Cortez did that.
Cortez did the layout, man. Yeah, go make sure y'all check that out, man. He did his thing, man. It looks good, and yeah, make sure y'all go check that out. My bad, bro. I just had to plug your video real quick because you've been talking about the C10, but I was like, don't let that distract you from the fact that the whole interior is redone.
Right. I mean, you could look at it from the outside, like, oh, it's just painted in its own rallies, but when you look
Yeah,
inside that motherfucker, you like, oh snap. And like I mean,
right.
that was really, because I mean I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like Cortez, like, yeah man, you just put bucket seats in there. I'm like, I don't know, but you know, I trusted his vision and what he does, man, and I seen the what the miracle that he worked with his own Monte Carlo on his channel, uh, and I know how good that looked. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, like that is crazy looking. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that, you know, if he had this vision of like, oh yeah, I can do this and this, then you know I just kind of let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? I restricted him a little bit, but for the most part, you know, um, he was able to, you know, bring his vision of that C10 interior to life, and I mean it came out beautiful, man. It came out beautiful.
I'm gonna go through the comments real quick. I see a lot of comments. I see Swaps in the house. Danny, we already. I think we went. Yeah, Danny was in here. Swaps is already in here. Silverback Life. Is Silverback? Did you change your name? Was it something else before? Was it just Silverback? I know. I think we've been had a Silverback in here already. Was it always Silverback Life, LS?
Yeah, I recently met Silverback Life over on Mr. Random Live earlier this week.
Okay.
And they came over to the channel, been watching and supporting, man. And then he caught the announcement about this podcast, so he just
Hell
bounced some
yeah,
love,
man.
man. We really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for coming through. I mean, thanks everybody for coming through. Whenever we see a new name or something, where it was like, who is that? But it's crazy, man, when you grow on a channel. Like even my channel, it's only like 850 or something, 840. I don't even know. I try not to stay focused on the subscribers that much. When I hit a milestone, I go ahead and post, and I'm really excited about it. But after the first like 200, it's kind of you know who comes in all the time, and then
Yeah,
you
I
don't.
mean, you pretty much just doing your thing. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, so I think that the subscribers, I mean, they think, or you know, it's to see somebody that they support grow, like it means a lot to them. You know what I'm saying, as well.
right.
So I mean, you kind of put like, I mean, you celebrate those victories and everything, because you know, for a lot of the people that's been there, um, you know, since the beginning, like they like people remember like when I was first hitting, I had my 800 subscriber giveaway or whatever, and you know they know that you know the day in, the day out, the videos, the lives, everything to get to that point. So I mean, I definitely do you know, mention those milestones and continue to do those giveaways, you know, to give and show my support, you know what I'm saying, to those who have supported me. Um, but when it all comes down to it, I mean, and a lot of times I know in my lives, man, I don't have, even though I have 7,000 subscribers, I might not even have 20 people, 20 people in there at the same time. So I just focus on those who are, you know,
You
actively
know the
there,
core.
um, and build, you know, relationships and things with them, man. Just seeing how what's going on with their bills or what they have going on with their channels and, you know, everything like that. So
It is cool watching everybody do their builds,
community,
stuff
yeah.
like that
I
too.
mean, the just growing is great. The subscribers is there, but I mean, to me, the real value is the people that you meet, man, and the, you know, the friendships or whatever that are forged. Um, Meeting people that are like-minded like you, enjoy doing the same things, and that's the best value I think out of it all. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the monetization. Like, I mean, all that is nice and good. It's a kickback for, you know, all your hard work, dedication for putting out content, but it's really the people. You know what I'm saying? It's really the people. Like they say, you know, quality over quantity, quality over quantity. But the more that you grow, it helps you find. You know what I'm saying? So you grow to 10,000. You know what I'm saying? 10,000 is 3,000 more subscribers. So out of that 3,000 more subscribers, you may find, you know what I'm saying, 10 more like just crazy loyal subscribers that are like ride or die for you. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
just never know. So
The people that you really connect with, like that really be like, man, we do the same shit.
right.
Like,
Exactly.
because when I watch your channel, I was like, man, we both working out the garage. Like, we both building these old schools, just kind of learning as we go. I mean, I'm still learning as I go. People think I just quit on the Regal. I did not quit on the Regal, but I've been busy. I got some other stuff I've been doing now, and I kind of have to keep it under wraps because I got a customer. I'm working on his car. So like, but I've still been doing LS stuff. Like I did the live, I was unboxing stuff. Some of that stuff was for that project I'm working on. So I'm still working on LS stuff. I just tore down a 5.3 today, down to the block. I recorded that, and I just want to make sure that before I put it on YouTube, that the guy that is buying it is happy. I just want to make sure that when he okays it, then we'll go ahead and record, and we'll go ahead and publish or whatever. But I would hate if I was like, unless we agreed to that first, like, hey man, just post it on YouTube and I'll go with the flow. But seeing this is my first customer, I just want to handle it, the right way, as usual.
Right.
Silverback said, "Who is New York?" It's crazy. I feel like both of y'all been in like LS's channel for a long time. You said you just met Silverback. I feel like Silverback been in your live streams for a while. It just was Silverback though. Technology is a good, bad thing for sure. Swaps for sure. Like it's definitely a good thing as far as connecting with people, but it's also, like you said, it's a bad thing because people just make up stuff and spread it, and it's
it definitely can have its pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. Because I remember. Because some people be like, "Oh, Facebook is bad." You know what I'm saying? Facebook can be good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Anything can be good or bad. A gun could be good or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Using it to rob a store, bad. Using it to protect your family against intruder, good. So it's all about how it's used. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that something is necessarily good or bad. It's the purpose or the intent in which it is used, which really makes the difference.
Swap said, "Get out now." He said, "Get out." It can cause a headache. Talk about working on people's cars. It's already been a headache, man, but I'm trying to supplement my habit. I don't want to do it major. Like where it's like my whole lifestyle, but I want to be able to support my car habit with working on other people's stuff, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And I was telling Swaps the other day when we was talking, man. The reason why I don't have, cause I have people all the time, man. They see me do the box Chevy, they see me do the C10, and now they done see me working on the colors. They know that I'm capable to do an LS swap. However, I was saying they're like, "Oh, how much you charge to a swap?" And I'm just like, no. And to me, it's just because there's a lot more that goes into it. But I told them what I would do. 9 times out of 10, like would you do something like I feel like in this area it's not like a lot of people that can tune well. So I think that's gonna be like my even if I decide to go down that road, that's what I would want to do. You know what I'm saying? I show up, I hook up my air fuel ratio thingy, I hook up my computer, we drive around, we do some pulls, I look at some data, I change some shit, and then boom, I make $300 for tuning your stuff, street tuning your car. You know what or something like that, versus you know actually having somebody's car for weeks or months, and charging them 5, 7 thousand. Which, like I said, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just for me and what I already have going on. You know what I'm saying, I work and I have, I already have my photography business. I've been booking up here lately. I got a wedding coming up. I got engagement pictures coming up in a couple weeks. After that, I got a wedding coming up. You know what I'm saying? People are constantly calling and booking, and that's where like my money actually comes in. So I mean, to capitalize off of this opportunity that people know me for, doing the LS swaps. I'm not actually going to do the actual swaps, but if you need the tuning done, you know what I'm saying, you change the cam, or you just want to see tune it, you're not doing anything major. You just want to get the most out of it, the little unlocked potential that can be unlocked just through tuning. Or you add a turbo, or you add a supercharger, or whatever. Then some of that stuff has to be done with dyno, which I have no point or plan of even getting one of those. So my niche, you know what I'm saying, my little area would be, if you want it street tuned.
Getting your cut of the pie. You
Right.
definitely entitled to a cut of the pie because you've built a brand, right? So
Yeah.
how can you profit or capitalize, I guess, on
Right.
what you've built? And
Because
you
I
found a way to do
thought
that.
about it a couple different ways. Like, I was like, maybe I can do harnesses. I don't like doing harnesses like that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Or I can do swaps. I don't really like doing swaps. I mean, I like doing my swaps. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But there's like I told swaps, it's, to me, it's a lot of liability in that, and a lot of people don't think about that. They just hop on people's cars, start working on them, and you know what I'm saying, go from it. I'm more of a chess player instead of checkers, and I look at it differently. So I'm thinking, liability,
You talking
risk,
about like fires?
etc. Well, no, not fire. Fuck not fire. I was on my
That would be I
say
would have
that
just thought that would have
I
been the
have
first one.
like Cortez brings me his 72 mining. You know what I'm saying, which is already kind of like super stupid rare. Don't see a lot of them, etc. In the process of me installing his motor or whatever, I break his, I crack his header panel, or bust out of the headlight, or hell, anything. You know what I'm saying? Now I have to replace this almost probably impossible part to find on this client's car. And of course I can't charge them extra for that because it's something that I did. So now I'm eating into my profit. And depending upon the cost of it, it may, whatever. Or they get it back and they're like, oh, well, my car did this before I brought it to you, and they don't do that.
The old okey doke.
It's like I said, I just look at it a different way. I see a lot of liability, and I just, it wouldn't be wise for me. I'm
A
saying
lot of
somebody
red
else,
tape.
like, yeah, to jump off into that. I feel that if I was just tuning, you know what I'm saying, worst case scenario, I fucking brick your computer and I gotta owe you another one.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely right. There's some liability, and you got to be more careful. No, no, but like, yeah, you gotta be careful, man. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but
What's up,
everything has
Dwayne?
liability. You could sell the wrong part at work, and your job could have issues. Not you personally, but there's liability in hiring people. You know what I mean? You could cuss somebody out, go on live and do something stupid at work. And the company, I mean, everybody has you could fuck up somebody's whole wedding picture.
Right.
I would almost compare that to like fucking up a 72 Monte Carlo, because you only get
I
married
mean,
like
yeah, because I mean, and then I guess when you put it like that, like, I mean, it's Because I mean, you can't like rewind back time. Like I do only get like one shot with that shit.
Yeah, like that. I'm more afraid of that. Like, because like for a while, I really enjoyed being behind the camera. I like
You know what I'm
cameras and
saying?
stuff.
But like, I am.
I was like, I can't. I would never.
Uh,
You professional at it. You went to school for it, but still, I'm like I went to my buddy's wedding. They hired photographers and stuff, and they had a couple different people videotaping, and they was talking about they had 2 memory cards in their camera. And I was like, dang man, what if they
yeah,
both
because
didn't?
in the unfortunate event that a memory card was to fail or something like that, then yeah, now you just lost all them pictures. You can't. I mean, you can't start the day over. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so
So like that's. I mean, yeah. I guess when you put it
that's
like that, I mean, it is a very huge risk doing what I already do. So
what it. Let me.
I don't know. I'm just
Queen
like,
says hi to both of us. How's everybody doing? We're doing great. We're doing great. Um, living and learning. D Smoke says. LS Swap says, I've been the one to send a brand new swap to a paint shop because of my accident. Oh Lord. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I like getting them where they ugly. Perfect scenario is you bring your car to me before we went to the body shop.
you sound like I'm ugly.
I don't. Hey, make sure you don't bring it dressed. You know what I mean. Make sure. Hell, if you don't want to bring the damn front end at all, that'd be perfect. You see how I built mine. You know what I mean
Right,
with the
right.
fender off and the hood off. Like just leave it like that if you can. But if it's painted and stuff, you almost need to charge extra if you're gonna get a car that's already like that. Like it's gonna slow you down. You got to be extra careful. Not that you already ain't careful, but now it's like, man, how much is this paint job? Okay,
Yeah,
damn.
like if I scratch something on my car, it's not the end of the world. If I scratch something on somebody else's car, if I scratch something on somebody's box Chevy that they already value at $20,000,
Yeah,
Lord forbid what I'm gonna have to pay to put it back to its original $20,000 fucking state.
yeah. Bring it to me
That's
before.
sarcasm for those of y'all that didn't catch it.
My wife said, my wife, she in the comments. I didn't mean it like that, y'all. But yeah, just I don't want to be the one guy that do the work last. Like I just would rather the car be in the beginning process. Yeah, 25,000 bill and I shit the bed, not good. Yeah, and Swaps, you've put me onto a lot of game. Like, I mean, we've had conversations uh, outside of YouTube, and we've long conversations, and you gave me a lot of game. So I'm trying to do something, man. I don't. I think with I'm still a DIY guy, and this is to support my DIY projects. I found myself just burning up the credit card, you know, trying to buy up all the parts I needed for the Regal. And now I'm trying to do it a different way, whereas I can put away a little bit of money. I got the garage. I gotta, I'm trying to balance it all out. So, but
But a lot of
man,
times
this
the bills, I mean, some guys will send their car with the motor put in and stuff before that they do paint. You know what I'm saying? They'll
I
get the
think
car
that's good.
painted first, or they'll get the interior done. They'll get the motor put in. Any mechanical work that has to be done to the car done first. That way,
That's next month's
the last
episode, bro. That's next month's episode.
thing. That way, you don't have to worry about a mechanic doing it. Huh?
Unless that's next month's
Oh, it's
topic.
next month's episode.
The order,
What's that?
the order of your build.
Oh, how should you build? How should you build
Yeah,
your
and
project?
yeah,
I
like
think that would be. I think that'd be a good topic to get everybody's input on it, how they've done it, and what we think would be beneficial, a beneficial way to do it, and it'll be a good they may be able to bring something to the table that we hadn't thought of before. So I definitely think that'd be a good topic.
Yes, sir. D Brooks, weigh your options. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to weigh them out. We're going to have to, we're trying to figure it all out. I prefer to do them like I said in the beginning of the process, before paint, before like when you first get the car, you got a Mustang Fox body, you just want to put, your K member in, and you want to put the engine in, and you want to get it running, and then you want to do all your other stuff later. Go ahead. That's how I prefer to get them.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think this was I didn't go through the prices of. I asked everybody a question, so I'm gonna read those. The prices everybody said for the like if they was to buy the best box Chevy.
What would be what is the most that you're willing to spend on a box Chevy?
So we got a lot of like 15. Well, let me just read through them real quick. So looks like we started with 5K with Danny. Danny said he would pay up to 5K. Silverback said he would do the 15.
What would that car have to have for 15K? Silverback.
What would it have to have for 15K, Silverback?
Like what is a $15,000 box Chevy to you?
And then Danny said for 5K, his has to be a coupe. What does it have to be? What does it have to be worth 5K? I want to see both of their comments actually. What does it have to be worth? What does it have to be worth 5K? And then I want to see why and what it has to be worth 15K. And then New York says depends. A box my cap is 6K, but Donk Vert 15K. Okay, yeah, Donk Vert it's a different. It's definitely different. I mean, I feel like those stock you paying about 7 to 8 just to get one basic. Now, even though it everywhere, that's what it seemed like. You at the bare minimum, you paying 3K from a mom and pop type, grandma type deal on a Donk Vert just because it's a convertible. You paying at least 3K for a bad one. And that's for somebody that don't even know the market, like a grandma. Like, oh yeah, our convertible we got married in. Like, you paying 3K for that at the minimal. And then if it's nice, you paying more. Cortez says 10K. I want to know why and what you have to have on it for 10K. All the way fixed up for you. Let's see. We got new comments. Probably the response to that. I'm going to cook myself dinner tonight. Swap says I have done a lot of swaps solo and caught up with me. I can put one in anything and have it running, but time is something you can't get back. That's true. That's true. I think about that a lot, actually. I think about that a lot. I try to have my family around as much as possible because I know I put a lot of time in over there. But yeah, I definitely consider that, man. And I spent a lot of time over there, so even if they like they don't want to hang out, I'm like, hey, just come over and play on your tablet, whatever. Sometimes they get on my nerves, but like I definitely consider that, man. I know time is your most expensive asset is time. Silverback Life, all done, suspension, paint, interior, at least 700 horsepower for 15K. Okay. If somebody said it was 700 horsepower for 15K, that's a steal to me because a Hellcat, you paying 60, 70 for a used one, and it probably ain't even 700 for the wheel.
And a lot of the box Chevys is out there for 15,000, 20,000 or whatever what they ask them. They haven't been done all the way. You know what I'm saying? some people may have frame off restored them, but a lot of people haven't. You know what I'm saying? They put paint in there, they put some music in there, put some wheels on it, and then they think they got a $15,000-$20,000 box.
Yeah, on the
Like I said,
surface.
I would never, say anything. I mean, I don't care what you want for your box. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, you know what I'm saying, I built my box or building my box for me. You know what I'm saying? It was never to recoup any money. It was going building it how I wanted. Well, if the situation did come where I did have to sell it, and then whatever price that I put on it would be the price that I put on it. But the sole intention is not to build it for resale. I know what I have. I know what I'll have in it, but that's another thing. You can't expect to get everything that you put into a project out. You know what I'm saying? You can put $20,000 into a box, but you may not get all of that out. Which is why I think that's a reason why people should consider when spending their bread, or how I look at it. You know, whatever I put into this car, you know what I'm saying? Is it okay if I just don't get it back? You know what I'm saying? Is it just purely for my enjoyment?
There used
And
to be
that's
a
it.
That used to be like like that was one thing that people understood. At least when I was growing up, I'm still growing up, but like all the OGs and like my uncles, my dad, you never get back what you put into a car. That was something that they always when I was putting radios, just back then I was putting a system in,
Right.
tent. Oh, it was like you never get back what you put into a car. Like I don't know why you putting all that money into it. You putting wheels on it. You never get back. These guys, I mean, now if I was to sell the Regal, I would be make. I mean, I wouldn't get back my time for sure. But as far as money that I put in, yeah, I'll get it back
Yeah, you
easy.
don't. Because I mean, if you think about it, if you buy brand new wheels and tires and put on the car, you know what I'm saying, you spend $2,000 on wheels. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't noticed, like a lot of times on marketplace, I mean, people sell wheels and tires for like a fraction of that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get all that money back.
But we
It's
don't buy
just
anything new.
Yeah, everything, all of it, is depreciating assets, and I mean, that's probably like a whole nother topic discussion or whatever. But I mean, it's depreciating assets. You buy it, you ride on them, they're depreciated. So you won't get what you paid for originally.
It's crazy though, because as we say that, you think of wheels like BBSs that went up in value. Um, some of these wheel companies that don't remake certain wheels, they
Uh huh.
tend to like go up. I mean, there's like certain types of wheels that do that. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit on these, and next year I'm gonna sell them for 1,000 more. I mean, but you're paying to get into that arena. It's a different level. Like work wheels. When I was into the 240s back in the day, um, I think Work Wheels was a big brand, and they was like, in my opinion, was expensive, but I don't think they compare to the price of like Forgiatos or what Ruchis cost now. But yeah, some of those are going up in value. Even like the retro wheels, like them old school wheels on the lowriders, they
Uh
seem
huh.
to be going up in price now. I don't know if they're as much as they was new, but they definitely seem to be growing assets. But that's the like what is that the exception of the rule basically.
And I
Uh,
think it's more based off of, like we were saying earlier, the popularity, like the supply, the demand, um, and pretty much the street value. You know what I'm saying? We all know some things are more popular. Perfect example, like LS3, LS6 intakes. You know what I'm saying, the car like truck intakes, find them all day long, dime a dozen. But if it comes down to you finding, a LS6 or LS3 intake, the car one, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna pay that premium,
at
because
least
that's
for
when
350 or 400
people,
at least.
right. And that's just, I mean, granted they do kind of come from the factory, know what I'm saying, like that. But I think even the manufacturers know that they are that much more sought after. You know what I'm saying? Not only, even though the truck intake, has more torque or whatever down low or whatnot, but it's the look of that, car intake that a lot of people are after. You know what I'm saying? When they pop their hood, they got the car intake, they desire that more than, maybe the performance numbers.
Yeah,
So
even your performance guys are like, well, I know, but I like this one.
yeah, I know I'm losing bottom end torque, but the way it looks. So
Yeah. Some of your power guys are like that. Some of them are like, hell, I don't care if it look like this. If it make 10 more horse, I'm wanting it.
right.
But I'm in the middle kind of guy. Like I like it to look good and make some power. Cortez says 6.0, 4080, posi, tuned, and ready is why I said 10K. Yeah, a lot of people overlook the posi. That's a pretty I mean, it's not like it's gonna keep you from driving, but it's definitely cool to be able to do like a full burnout. It's cool.
Well, I mean,
And
with the posi, the the main thing is because when you go, because I mean, a lot of people and I know that I understand it better, just being around uh, car guys and kind of understanding more of the higher horsepower bills. Like, I mean, you can do your motor can make, you know what I'm saying, 500-600 horsepower, but can you get that power to the ground? And that's
right.
where, what I'm saying, the stalls come in, the transmissions come in, the drive shafts come in, the rear end build, the posi. The posi is more so that it's to more effectively get
To hook
that
up.
horsepower that you're making to the ground. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, it makes 11s or whatever, but the the numbers based reason or the logical is that, okay, I have this high horsepower application. I'm trying to get that power to the ground. It also is going to help with my acceleration. You know what I'm saying? Because now both of my back wheels are gripping the ground versus just one.
Facts.
So,
Definitely putting down
so I mean,
more
it,
traction.
it boils down to, what I'm saying, the more you know. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody that, somebody's just like, oh, I'm gonna get a posi just because that's what everybody says I should have. But what do you know the reason why? Like, if you're not necessarily racing or, what I'm saying, trying to build a high horsepower application. I'm saying,
There's two
other than the
reasons
fact
though,
that,
man.
oh, I can make 11s, right? So are you
There's
just
two
gonna
reasons for the posse though.
are you
You
just
don't
gonna
want to get
spend that
made
much
fun
money
of.
just so you can put 11s on the ground, or
It's
do you
for one,
have
I don't want to
a
get made fun of, and two, I want to
very
hook up if I go to the track.
engine that
But most people is I don't want to get made
produces
fun of. Most of them are like, oh, you got one wheel peel. Most people, if you building a car and you put all that money, you don't want to lay a one wheel peel, man. Period. Most of these guys, majority of the car guys ain't really hitting the track, but they gonna put a posse in. If they did it, it was for the fact that they just wanted the clout. Like, you know, there's a low percentage of guys that are actually car guys that actually take it to the track.
But like I said, it helps with acceleration. So if you want to, I mean, you don't even have to necessarily go to the track in it. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a, a, even if you just got 400 horsepower, you know what I'm saying, and you just want to, it's more fun. You know what I'm saying? Having that more power put to the ground to where it can grip and you can do donuts and burnouts and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever a person's justification for getting it should be there, but it should be for what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? They have a reason why they're doing it, not just because, oh well, Joe Smo said I should have I'm building a car, so I should have a posse. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Who else? Someone else justified their price. Uh, remember that D Brooks time. Facts for sure. Like time. 10K was hypocritical. I would never buy two. I can get all that for 5K or less. He said I would never buy that. I can get 5K or less. I can get all that for 5K or less. Okay. Yeah, I mean, now that we do it ourselves, like that may be another video. I mean, we may go over it again, but I think the price for the LS swap is kind of inflated, anyways. Like LS, I mean, and I'm not. And you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell us. But what do you think you could do to LS swap for? If you could do it all over, like if you wanted to go cheap as possible on, like, say, a Cutlass or even a Caprice or even a C10, what do you think you could spend on it, like, and get it done the way you would be comfortable?
You mean like,
Comfortably,
are you talking about just for the swap or like with the vehicle included? Or I
just
already
like,
have the vehicle.
let's say you bought an engine for 500 just to make it easy, but then everything else, like,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, other outside of the engine transmission, uh, probably the next most expensive thing is going to be like, you know what I'm saying, your harness or your tuning, your computer being tuned. Um, there's guys out there that can do it for, you know what I'm saying. They have like the unlimited credits, so they might just charge you 75. There's guys out there that just charge 150. Um, a lot of times those are just basic unlocks. You know what I'm saying, but actually going to get it tuned to the point where it's set up for. Because I mean, you can just delete that, and you can run and drive in the car because it was already tuned when it was in that truck. But if you want the maximum, that you can get out of that motor in your application, then yeah, you're gonna have to, pay somebody to, tune it for that application. Harnesses are becoming. They're still like the painless $600-700 options, but then there's the ones that are out there that are like $350 from the Chinese, and they work just fine too.
right, which will be
all in all. I think that if you already had a vehicle and you just have to get engine, trans, harness, computer, depend upon if your drive shafts needs to be redone. You could probably easily come in at like maybe three to three. I would probably say maybe 3 to 4. You know what I'm saying? The biggest thing is the motor cost. Like, while we do know that, hey, I can go to the junkyard and I can spend this much. Logo gets them for like 150. You know what I'm saying? Other parts, places like Texas, you know what I'm saying, out of the junkyard, complete engine is like 5. So where you are located at has a lot to do with it, as well as anything else. But I think if somebody was building it themselves, you could probably easily come in at probably around 3, if not less. It's just depending upon, like, are you willing to wait to find a deal on stuff, or are you just gonna, buy certain stuff just outright? Like, boom, I'm dropping $300 on an oil pan because I need it to do it in there, or are you gonna try to, fab up the truck oil pan and then run it that way? Am I gonna wait for a harness to come from China, or am I gonna drop $700 from painless made in the U.S.? I would say it's a lot of variables, because a lot of people, they just want to get their stuff up and running, and they do end up paying premium prices for a lot of these parts.
real quick off-topic question. For your LS and the Caprice, are you using the truck oil pan?
No, I use the muscle car oil pan.
Did you have to? Like, could you have used the truck oil pan?
Being that I'm on 24s, I probably could have got away with it. But you don't want that oil pan hanging below that cross member. You know what I'm saying? Because anything, you going down the highway, you know what I'm saying, 100 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, kicks up and just happens to just hit your oil pan square, and it could dent it and it could cause it to leak. Now you lost all your oil, and you running 80, 100 miles an hour, all your oil is gone, and now it pretty much just cost you a whole engine. So it wasn't just the oil pan, you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
And,
true.
and that's a worst case scenario, but that's why it's important to know why. Um, I know in the truck, I use the truck with this regular stock truck oil pan. It doesn't hang crazy low. Um, but the most thing is like because if when you're going over bumps and stuff like that, uh, and your oil pan is hanging low like that, you do risk like it could be bumps. Hell, it could be you're going through like a parking lot. They got them humps and speed bumps in there. So depending upon how low your car is set, how your suspension is set up, you could easily probably crack the pan on there. So it's one of those things where kind of better safe than sorry.
Right.
A oil pan, $300. It'll bring it up some. Because even with that oil pan that I have on the Caprice, it still hangs a little bit below it. But like I said, with me being up on the 24-inch rims, like it makes it to where it's not as much of an issue. Now, if I would have used a truck oil pan and then the car was either lowered or I was running the stock 15-inch wheels and the car set lower to the ground, then yeah, like I would just really have to be very, very careful on how I do it.
Yeah, the customer I'm working on his car, he has 24s on a Fleetwood, which is basically like a Caprice body. It's technically a C body, but it's very similar, just a little bit longer. And basically, we went with a very minimalistic approach on this. So we were reusing that truck oil pan, and I actually used the same one you used on your Caprice on my Regal, and it's still pretty low on there. I wish I would have went with the Holly, but because my car is low, it's on the 15s. But
Yeah.
what did you use? Are you using the Holly on your Cutlass, or did you use the muscle car again?
No, there was a subscriber that it had fabricated and shortened the truck oil pan. Um, so that's the pan that I'm using on the colors. And like I said, it clears in the front. I was looking under the Caprice the other day, and I want to say that it may be like a little bit more room like between the cross member or and like the bottom of the pan, but for the most part, it fits the same. But it doesn't. I want to say that. Well, I don't actually have a transmission in there behind it, and it's sitting in there the way it is. But from what I can tell, like I'm not gonna have an issue um, as far as clearance.
Okay. Yeah, so that's something I
But
might
yeah,
bring up to him later on. Like,
that pen was donated by a subscriber because they know I do the budget bills. I think he ended up was fabbing it for himself. I think then he just ended up buying a muscle car pan or a Holly pan. He was like, "Hey man, I know you're getting ready to do another bill. If you want this pan, man, I ain't gonna do nothing with it. I'll send it to you."
right
So
on.
there's if you have the knowledge, the know-how, the tools, you know what I'm saying, you can fabricate, what I'm saying, truck pan to work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna mention to him like, hey, I got the engine out right now. My buddy has a very similar build. He went with the muscle car pan. I went with the muscle car oil pan. Personally, on my car, I think it's a little low on the Regal because of the way, my car sits low with the Daytons and everything. But I might go ahead and just let them know, like, hey, you got the option right now. I can zip it on there, go get you, the Holly or whatever. Yeah, I ain't gonna charge you to throw the oil pan on. I'm gonna do the oil pan gasket anyway. So whatever you want to do, let me know now, because I'm not gonna, if it goes in, that's how it's gonna be, unless you want to pay to get it done differently afterwards. So
Right.
I could just slap that in there. But that's on you.
Definitely don't want to have to pull it back out.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, it's a little bit more money, but that's peace of mind for you if you want that. But he is on 24, so I can see where he would say, "Nah."
Yeah.
I can see where I would probably be like, "Nah," either. But you got that one off, like you said, the Rock cracking the oil pan. But man, Swab said truck pan location is the base of cross member location, so you can use same drive shaft and translocation mounts. They got a video coming out on that too. Swaps. We did. It wasn't really that much modification, but we was able to. I think I'm gonna be able to use his stock frame mounts. They're a little different than the Chevy ones because of the Cadillac big block has a little bit different way it sits in there, but I think we're gonna be able to reuse those. But yeah, we got a lot of good interaction in here tonight, man. It started off real slow. It did. It was like, man, did it notification at all? Let me text my wife. But this was a nice. I feel like this was a good live, man. Good dialogue. I appreciate all y'all coming through.
Yeah, most definitely.
We try to keep these. Our goal is always to do about an hour. We've been doing like an hour. We've been doing like 3 hours, but we really like to keep these to probably an hour and a half to an hour. But we get into good conversation with everybody, and it gets real good, and we just go back and forth.
Especially being that this is something that we only do once a month. That's why we kind of strayed away from the 1 hour thing. So I mean, if we just kind of go with the flow, and have it, if it runs for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Hell, like you said, we've done a 3 hour one, and I mean it's kind of like similar to the lives that I do on my channel. Like I mean, if they run long, they run long. I think yesterday's live on my channel, we was on there for like 5 hours.
Word. I know I was rocking with y'all for about maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So
and then I went to sleep. I don't know what y'all did after I went to sleep.
I went back and looked at it after it uploaded. It was like 5 hours long.
Dang.
With these, I mean, we would go that long. I mean, that was just us hanging out, talking shit, whatever. But these, I'm saying, being that we do kind of have a topic, etc. We try to keep them a little bit shorter to where, like, if somebody was to go back and watch it, you know what I'm saying, they can more easily find the main topic of discussion and everybody's feedback, etc. on it.
But yeah, with that being said, man, we usually, like I said, we usually have LS do the closing. Y'all reach out to Cat Loco, man. Let them know y'all want to see him on here. Keep him in your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in this world. I don't know what he might be dealing with. Everybody's got things that they deal with. So I don't know his situation right now, but y'all reach out to him. Rally around him, and just check in on him. Yeah, man. Hopefully, we'll get back to having all three of us next month. And yeah, man. Until next time, I'm gonna let LS do his closeout.
Yeah, man. Oh, what is a closeout? It's been so long. Oh yeah, it's good, better, best. Oh damn, I forgot it. Identify your weakness.
Hey, that works, brother.
It was like good, better, best. Do your good till it's better, and then your better till it's best.
Appreciate the support, guys. Swaps, man. I'm keeping you in my thoughts, man. Like I said, I don't know the situation, but just keep your head up, brother. Feel free to call me, inbox me anytime.
Swaps in your prayers, man. We all go through life. Life throws punches, and we just gotta punch back. And the best thing that we can do is just pray for one another, encourage one another. Just let our fellow man know that, hey man, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna get through this. You
For sure.
So most definitely.
All right, everybody, take care. Be safe. Peace. I think we're off live. It's still spinning right now. It did not take us off live yet. Hold on, guys. Until next time, peace.
Hey, Cortez, I'm pulling up.
I don't know if he heard you. I don't even know if we're still live. I think we're still live. It says we're still live. I can't get off.
He did me. Like, hey, Cortez, I'm pulling up. I announced it to the world.
Right. I can't get off the live, bro. Cortez said pull up. Y'all, we just gonna be on here because it won't let me get off. I'm hitting in broadcast right now.
I'm coming back in the cove now, so
yeah, y'all. We just rocking with y'all. Unless I just close. I don't know. It will not let me in the broadcast.
All right, we're about to have a special guest, Cortez Resto.
Right. If it just cut off on us randomly, you know my internet is just slow. I've never seen it like just make you stay online. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, usually might take a sec, but then it'll eventually go off.
Yeah, usually
I gotta go do this drug deal.
Yeah, it's like
pick up the pack.
Usually you have an issue, like if you have an internet issue, you can't get on. It's not letting us off.
Give us free.
Right. All right. Well, I was going to try to chat with you in the background or whatever, but I guess I'm just going to close the whole window. I don't even know if that's going to end the live.
Free.
He said, "All LS. Also, those parts are free 99."
Oh, really?
With the thumbs up, brother.
What parts? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Deny.
All right, bro. I'm gonna just close the window. I don't know if that's gonna end it or not, but we will find out.
We're gonna learn today. Can y'all still see me? Can y'all still see me? So yeah, I can still see you. Yo, this is crazy. I don't know why it won't shut off. I'm tired. I gotta be working first thing in the morning.
Hey, you still live, man. I didn't close the window and came back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. It's just gonna keep on rolling. All right.